Oh, no Michael Schwartz, no Joe Germisi, just FM 96.1 AM 1170, and Wendy.
Hello, hello.
You have to say the answer.
The answer.
There you
delayed there.
go. Now, the boys are out playing in the dirt.
I know.
And look.
They're having a lot more fun than.
Look at Wendy.
This
She's
is
go
pretty
ahead
fun.
and pull that mic a little closer to you. Yeah, I know. Wendy would much rather be out playing in the dirt, too. But, hey, somebody's got to stay here and do the hard work.
Yep.
Hey, this segment is sponsored by John Dillon and the Dillon Law Group. If you have legal matters that involve firearms, then you need to call attorney John Dillon. And if you have questions about red flag laws, gun registration, gun transportation, or maybe you just need to know that your guns are California compliant, maybe you've inherited from family. Well, the way to find out is call our trusted firearms attorney, John Dillon. John Dillon specializes in California gun laws, 760-642-7150. Or you can visit the website at DillonLawGP.com. Hey, folks, if you're going to tune in to the YouTube live stream at youtube.com/gunownerradio, do me a favor. Hit that like button and the subscribe button and tell as many friends as you can.
All right. So, Cover Your ASP Week starts next week. Don't forget to join the fun and learning and register before the classes are sold out because they will sell out. Don't forget to learn from the best online or at a live training class. You can check out the registration links at gunownersradio.com. And we're super excited to say that we were able to award 2 classes to 2 different law enforcement officers.
Wow.
So that they get to do 2 days of training with John Correia.
See, and that was kind of strange because I was totally blown away that police officers have to come up with their own training.
Yes. Yeah.
That's mind-boggling.
I believe the department provides
Basic training.
very basic,
Yeah.
right? So if they want to make sure that they're proficient, they have to go out and do their own training.
Wow, that is which it's not a bad thing. I mean, and we got 2 officers that have gotten their classes taken. Do we have any more left that people can still?
Yes, people can definitely still sponsor an officer to so that they can take this training for free.
How much are we talking for sponsorship?
The sponsorship is $25 per ticket to support, and you get an entry.
Okay. Well, do me a favor, on air, put me down for 4.
Ooh, awesome. Thank you, Dave.
And I challenge anybody out there to do the same. That way, if we get 4 more, we'll be set, right?
Yeah. So so Rich was saying there's a certain number of sponsorships that need to be provided for each class that we can get to an LEO.
Right.
So Dave got us halfway there for another class.
Well, folks, stop and think about it. Wouldn't you like a well-trained police officer stopping you?
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to go any deeper than that, but I like if I'm going to be stopped, I want to be stopped by somebody that totally understands the rules, the regulations, and how to handle a situation.
Yes.
Yeah,
and John Correia is the perfect person to train with, too.
Truth?
Yes, yeah. He does thousands of video reviews of self-defense incidents, including law enforcement incidents, and it's very, very cool to watch. You learn a lot from his channel.
Yeah, I bet.
And he teaches all of that stuff in the class, too.
So for folks that are listening, what's the best way to support a law enforcement?
Go to gunownersradio.com and follow the links to Cover Your ASP Week.
ASP.
Yes.
Okay. And the deadline is?
Coming up very shortly.
Probably this coming Friday? So it's right around the corner.
Yes.
Okay, so come on, folks. We got to get a few more folks online so we can make this beneficial.
Yes.
Not only to the police officers, but to you, the general public.
That's
wow.
right. That's right.
All right. That's pretty cool. So what else we got coming up?
Well,
this hour and 2. I mean, who you got coming up next?
We've got 2 really great interviews. We've got one with Sean Burrows, with elevated training. And then we've got Dr. Raymond Kim coming up after that. And we've got a great gear review. And for now, I want to chat about SDCGO because
Sure.
So again, my name's Wendy. I am the COO of San Diego County Gun Owners, and it is our half birthday. So I like celebrating all the little things.
Absolutely. Well, for people that maybe don't even know what SDCGO is, I mean, because we get rolling on this show, and the next thing you know, 2 hours is over, and I'm wondering if people really understand what it's all about. So we have a few minutes. Why don't you kind of give the listeners a little bit of a rundown?
Sure. So San Diego County Gun Owners is a political action committee. We're focused on Second Amendment rights at the city and county level only. So there's a lot of great organizations that already cover statewide stuff, federal stuff. We want to let them focus on those areas. We saw a really great need for politics and advocacy at the local level. So we look at city councils, county board of supervisors, and even water boards, school boards, and the sheriff's department. So we were fairly heavily involved in the sheriff's race a couple of years ago. We helped turn around the CCW policy. So I'm super excited to say that we've helped at least a couple thousand people get their CCWs. We hold monthly seminars on how to get your CCWs. And one of the cool things is, I don't know if you knew this, but I was there at the very beginning of the creation of San Diego County Gun Owners. So I was actually one of the founding board members. And back then it was, it was just a couple of people. We were hanging out at the gun show with a table and some clipboards and just like saying hi to people. And for the first few years, I was involved from the very beginning. I was helping get it off the ground, and I would process all the incoming memberships, and we had, I would recognize almost all the names that came in. We would, at some point, we had talked to them. Somebody,
Sure.
Somebody on our team had talked to them personally. But when we started growing to the point where I didn't recognize the names that were coming in, it was super cool.
Yeah.
It was telling us that we were doing something correct.
Have I got some news for you?
Uh-oh.
Are you listening?
Is it good news?
Rick Stafford, a good buddy of mine, listens all the time, loves the show, just committed for 4 tickets.
Oh, yes.
So there's your 8. And how many more do you need? All right. So we still need 10 more. So, folks, get on the stick, 25 a pop.
Yep.
GunOwnersRadio.com.
Yep.
It'll get you right in there.
Very cool.
So there's 8.
Thank you, Rick.
See, Mike and Joe, you guys don't need to be here. We got this thing dialed in. Anyway, I didn't want to interrupt, but I just had to throw that out there.
That was worth interrupting for.
Yes, it is. So that's cool. That's 8.
Yeah.
8 police officers.
Yes.
Okay.
And so here's a little more about numbers. So SDCGO, we just passed 2,500 members. Last year was our best ever. We're steadily growing. We signed up 758 members just last year.
I remember when you only had 200 and you guys were stoked.
Yeah. I mean,
You were
every single
stoked.
membership came in. We were like, yay. I mean, we still are, but
No.
but
I
it
know.
is very
But
cool.
we've been doing this 4 years. Can you believe it?
Yeah, and that membership is what gets us the ability to do programs like Not Me SD and What the Gun and do the CCWs and stuff. So
Absolutely. I sent a
really
young lady.
important.
I sent a lady to Not Me SD who got accosted in a 7-Eleven parking lot. Guy had a 4-foot galvanized pipe,
what?
and she has not calmed down since. But she said she was going to contact you guys and get some training. All right, hey, we're going to take a quick break. You are listening to Gun Owners Radio. We do have a great show, so stick around. Next up is Sean Burrows to talk about training at home, and Professor Raymond Kim from the Asian American Gun Owners of California. This is FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
I'm sorry. I only date San Diego County Gun Owners members. Well, then you're in luck, baby. I'm not just a member. I'm a 10-ring member. Oh, do you have a CCW? You bet, baby. I have a CCW. San Diego County Gun Owners made it so easy. Oh, wow. They have an instructional video, and they'd walk you through the whole thing with their good cause worksheet.
Mike!
My hero!
Mike!
What?
What are you doing here?
Don't you knock?
It's the break room.
All right. Looks like everything is good to go.
Fantastic. I can't wait to break her in.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just one last thing, and... Okay, we're all set. I'll see you in 10 days.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's 10 days, not a minute earlier.
10 days?
Yep.
Days. Are you or a family member suffering from AGL? We can help. Visit us at www.stcgo.org or call us today. You are not alone.
Side effects may include peace of mind, fun, smiles, self-empowerment, pizza at meetings, weekly emails, an increase in freedom, frequent visits to your local gun range, and in some cases, gingivitis. Often not available in Australia, Japan, the UK, Germany, Papua New Guinea, and everywhere that isn't here.
Without someone doing something about it, it's not going to get any better.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Let me watch.
You are listening to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The answer.
Hey, guess what, folks? I didn't even know it, but if you do help support a police officer and Cover Your Ass Week, and it's over next Friday, so you actually, if you do that, now it's $25 per officer. Per ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you buy a ticket, does that give you more chances?
Yeah, it gives you one entry to win
Per ticket.
a Glock.
Per ticket.
Yes. So $25 a ticket. So Dave's got 4 now.
I got 4 shots.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Pun intended?
Yeah, well, yeah, pun intended. But that's okay. We're trying to see if we can shake up the left here. Hey, we are a proud partner with the National Concealed Carry Association as a 10-ring partner. NCCA exists to serve the Second Amendment community by providing nationwide network at 2A advocates, offer elite self-defense and concealed carry training from the nation's top instructors, and provide rock-bottom prices on the best selection of gear and accessories. You can learn more about them at National Concealed Carry Association.com. Hey, and for all you folks watching us on YouTube, hey, you got to just stay on top of that. Hit the like button and tell all your friends. And subscribe right now during the show for our YouTube channel, and we'll get you a free pass to the 21 Lessons Learned webinar at John Correia next week. All right, Wendy, who have we got as a guest today?
All right. We've got Sean Burrows. Is he on the line?
Hey, Sean, are you there?
Yeah, Alicia and I are both on.
Oh, great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Sure, we can hear you just fine.
Alicia, you there?
Hi, thanks for having us.
Called in.
Ah, yeah.
There she is.
In fact, Leisha sounds better than you.
I'd rather look at and listen to her than myself, but here we are.
Here we are.
All right. So why don't you guys both introduce yourselves?
Sure. My name is Sean Burrows. Alicia and I both are competitive 3-gun shooters for Team Federal Premium and BMT USA, and that was Gunworks. We formed a training company back in late 2019, and it's just been growing like crazy. A lot of market demand in 2020 has helped, and when we're not running around with guns on a clock trying to shoot targets as fast as possible in the warmer months of the year. I know you guys are in San Diego, but the rest of the country.
I was going to say, where could you be? You're in cold country.
When we're not doing that, we're teaching classes. So
awesome.
So what kind of classes? We'll let Alicia take this one. So what type of classes do you teach, and what so the consumer would be able to kind of get an idea of what you do?
Yeah, so we teach concealed carry courses, and we have a curriculum where we did the concealed carry course. We call it Concealed Carry Ready. So not only do they get their concealed carry permit, but we take them to the range where they get some actual range time, and we can help them get more comfortable with their firearm. And then we teach introduction to women's pistol. And so we do intro, intermediate, advanced, 2 days of 2 guns, so like a pistol, rifle. So we've been proficient with pistol, rifle, and shotgun. So, and then we also love to teach, privates and corporate events and that sort of thing. So we like a really wide variety of what we offer, and it's fun.
Cool.
Really,
to bring new people into this whole firearm community.
Yes, especially the concealed carry classes. I really like that you include a significant range portion, because it's very different than just becoming proficient with a firearm. There's so many more layers to it once you become a concealed carrier. So why don't you describe a little bit about what the range portion looks like holster draw or that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we don't do it from the holster at the concealed carry course. It's just mostly pick up from the table, but it's helping them understand the firearm so that when they can go back to the range to know what they're doing, and then helping with their technique. We work a lot on the hand placement and what the target looks like, and so help them to self-correct. So when they can go back and they feel more comfortable racking that slide back, and are also talking about malfunctions. So if this happens, then this is what I do, and it's a very basic, but helping them become more familiar with. A lot of them haven't even, I just bought this, I haven't touched it yet, type of scenario. And we get a wide variety, but at the same time, the people that are more familiar with their firearm, we can help them to tune it in a little bit better. And then with our intermediate course, that's where we start to, do it from the holster, draw from the holster,
gotcha.
and then go into movement and that sort of thing.
Do you help them pick the holster? Because we've done quite a few product reviews here, and I think we've done 3 or 4 different types of holsters for concealed carry, and it seems to me like there's so many options out there. Do you help the student by choosing the correct holster?
100%. We help them also decide if the gun they brought to class, if it's the first class or a more intermediate or advanced class, figure out if the gun that they've chosen for self-defense or home defense is the right fit for them, right?
Yes,
so,
that's so important.
I mean, carry methods vary. With females, usually there's a wider variety of carry methods that your typical female would want to or need to train with pistol presentations, depending on the various types of clothing. I can get away with wearing blue jeans now to a nice business meal or, on a Sunday afternoon. So, it just, but even then, I changed my carry method 3 years ago from 4 o'clock kidney carry to appendix. And, that took a lot of training just to get more proficient with that. But also considering their lifestyle, it's nice to have a sub-second draw from concealment. But, some people work in corporate environments where they're allowed to carry as long as nothing shows up, but they have to be more deep covert carry. So having a micro compact in a pocket inside of a pocket holster is really their only option.
Right.
But they're not going to have a sub-second draw. But in that case, if there is workplace violence, so to speak, it's better to have something and not need it than to need it and not have it, because you can't carry it like the fancy Instagram tactical guys, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, it's funny you should say that, because I'm a kind of a car guy, and I always tell everybody, never buy your wife a car. Let your wife buy the car. Whatever she wants, let her make the decision. So what does Dum Dum do here? I go and buy
Right,
my
good
wife
boy.
a Smith & Wesson 9mm. She cannot rack that thing for life. I mean, she says, well, what are we going to do now? So now I'm getting her lined up to do SD, not me, to see if I get her with the right gun, because now I've made that fatal mistake. So I'm glad to see you're bringing that up. So if a person was to take any of your courses, you would just assume they didn't have a weapon in that first course, correct?
If it's hosted at a range that allows rentals, that's really ideal.
Yeah.
You know, Alicia gets to deal with all sorts of interesting scenarios at the Women's Intro to Firearms class we teach over at Ready Gunner here in Salt Lake. It's whatever usually their boyfriend or husband decides to send them with. And it's really, you know, half of them show up with something decent, and the other half, it's just kind of like, well,
let's switch you to a rental,
work,
right?
Well, they won't use it.
$15.
They won't use it if they don't like it. It's just as clear as the nose on your face. If it doesn't fit, they can't rack it. It's got too much recoil. Whatever the case may be, they just won't use it. So what's the point?
Yeah, I've definitely come across that as well.
Yeah.
What I love about that
what we like to do is you know, get them going, but then
Who'd we
online subscribers, and we open it up every couple of months where they practice with us, and you know, we get on a Zoom call and we do a dry fire around specific skills to help keep that motion forward, because one weekend class, even once a month, isn't really enough to build the skills and the habits to be useful with that tool.
Right. So once
if they do have the right one.
So once they take your class, they've now become part of the family. Sounds like.
Yeah.
That's good.
A community, a group.
And I really like you mentioned earlier about self-diagnosis, and I think that's so important too, for them to be able to go off on their own and continue to be able to continue to improve their skills even without an instructor there.
Right. My goal for the women's course especially is a lot of times, like you said, they come in, I brought this pistol that I don't know what it is, it's never been shot, and then my goal for them is to finish the class with, I can go to the range, and then they usually have a preference of what, you know, pistol they have now, like, oh, this fits, this doesn't fit, and being able to go to the range by themselves with a goal for next time to say, hey, I can either rent a new one and try another one out, or bring mine, and I know the range commands, I know the range rules, and I feel comfortable coming in by myself and having a goal. So, like, what am I going to shoot? And that's a big accomplishment from going from I've never touched one to being able to feel comfortable coming in and practicing.
It totally is. It's so intimidating to become.
I was going to say, get over that fear factor of even having a gun.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And to just be able to walk into the range by themselves and know what to do and how to do it, that's a huge step.
Huge.
It's not hard, but there's a big comfort level that needs to come to be able to do that. It really
is, because you don't want to look like you don't know what you're doing, and the best way to do it is to take a class like these guys are doing. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. You're going to hang with us for a little bit?
Absolutely.
All right, so we are going to come right back after a quick commercial and continue talking to Sean and Alicia right here on FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
This might be the best gun owners segment ever. I'm glad you got to hear what they said. And oh my gosh, Dave Stahl. It's definitely not a pre-recorded message, but that's not important right now. What is important is that you support the Second Amendment by becoming a member today. So go to stcgo.org and become a member. Do it. Do it. Or check out Orange County Gun Owners, Riverside County Gun Owners, or San Bernardino County Gun Owners.
I'm sorry. I only date San Diego County Gun Owners members. Well, then you're in luck, baby. I'm not just a member, I'm a 10-ring member. Oh, do you have a CCW? You bet, baby. I have a CCW. San Diego County Gun Owners made it so easy. Oh, wow. They have an instructional video, and they'd walk you through the whole thing with their good cause worksheet.
Mike.
My hero.
Mike.
What?
What are you doing here?
Don't you knock?
It's the break room.
New Year's darts freaking suck. Action. That's what that does. Oh. It's you again. I'm glad to see that you stayed this far. I mean, you already came this far, I might as well stay for the end of the show. And at the end of the show, make sure that you click that link. That one of those links down there below. I'm glad you stayed.
All right, folks, welcome back to FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The Answer.
This is Gun Owners Radio, and this segment is brought to you by, hey, you know what? Law enforcement has a tough job, and a lot of the time, officers need to pay for their own training. And we got a deal for you. Cover Your Asp Week is coming up with world-class training from Active Self-Protection. We created this scholarship program to help officers get the training and also help build relationships with the gun owners community. So for $25, you can help a police officer get training and win a Glock yourself. Just go to the website and click on the support button. That's at gunownersradio.com. And if you are in law enforcement, you can apply for a scholarship. You can train with John Correia and Active Self-Protection at Cover Your Asp Week for free. Just go to the website and click on the apply button. And continued from our last segment, we have Sean and Alicia on the line, and they are from Elevated Training and Training at Home. Hi, Sean. Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, you want to support a cop? Send us $25.
Done.
Perfect.
Fund the police.
There you go. Hey, nothing I like better than a well-trained police officer if I'm going to get pulled over. So we're talking about your class, and I just am really impressed. It's like you guys have crossed all the T's and you've dotted all the I's. You've been doing this a while, and it sounds like you've learned from experience. But let's talk a little bit about Training at Home program. That sounds interesting.
Do you want to take this, Alicia, or you want?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, well, we realized early on when we were getting into competitive shooting that if we don't want to embarrass ourselves the next Saturday at a local club match, we needed to put in some reps. And there are so many elements to shooting that don't require actually discharging a round. Practicing your trigger control, practicing your draw, your reloads, stepping into position with whatever firearm you're working with, practicing seeing your sights as you transition from one target to another target. There are just so many little things where you can spend time at home for free building the habits. It's like learning a musical instrument, right? How many guitarists have to be plugged in on stage in front of 30,000 people in order to play their guitar? Nope. You have to practice a lot in your bedroom unplugged before you can be on the stage in the limelight. So it's the same thing. Because you got a gun doesn't make you a shooter. Just because you got a guitar doesn't make you a musician. And so we wanted to somehow bridge the gap between, like, great, you come, you take this class, we run some drills with you. Of course you're going to be shooting better 4 hours, 8 hours down the road than you were when you first got there. You're warmed up. We got some reps in. You're dialed in, and that's all you're thinking about. But that's not going to be the case when you're in a poorly lit area getting home, trying to get home from work or a night out. So what we wanted to do was somehow work with people, especially at a time when going out has been really difficult or impossible. And so we've been bringing on more and more, and we're going to be opening this up again in the next month or so for shooters. So, follow us on Instagram to keep an eye out for it. But we like working with just a group of shooters. We'll work on one skill. We call it our weekly skill builder broadcast. And, I believe it's $9 a month. We do a half-hour workout, so to speak, live. It's been Thursday evenings typically. And then we have 20 to 30 minutes of Q&A with people that want to hang out afterwards. And not everybody dials in every single week because maybe they don't need to, don't want to, or we'll have a really hot topic, so we'll expand on that topic the following week. We often bring in guests that are, world champions or very seasoned instructors in various genres of shooting, from military, law enforcement, competitive, whatever, because shooting well is shooting well, and getting perspective from different applications with the same types of tools is useful for all of us. And so we wanted a way for people to be motivated and become a part of a small community and why not do it with us and share things like equipment to techniques with the students that have taken a class from us. So we're going to be opening that back up. It got kind of popular, and we've had to retool a few things, and it's going to be better than ever. Probably the 1st of April. April Fool's Day. What better day to launch something serious?
So how do they find these classes? What do they have to go to?
Probably the best place to find us is Instagram, elevatedtraining.live. That also happens to be our website URL as well. So we've been announcing classes on that regularly. We also have a text number, so if you want to know when classes are coming online or in various areas, you can just send us a text at 801-516-3614. That's 801-516-3614. Call today. No.
Okay, I got the first three numbers. Hey, I got the first tee. What was the second one? Second group. 801
516 3614.
Hey, if you're going to get in my business, you got to do it slow.
Dave goes only at a certain pace.
That's right. Old.
Well, that sounds amazing. I mean, especially these days with ammo prices and, shutdowns and just the state of the economy and state of everything. That sounds like a great price, a great program. So I'm super excited that you guys are doing that. So you said there was... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's been really fun to have these intricate classes and stuff. But what we really love to preach is just getting that firearm out every day, touching it, knowing where in the safe it is, what condition it's in, and practicing your trigger pull, getting to know all those little minute details, and then putting it away. So not making a big deal about it, that's going to be a task that I can't do. But just like brushing your teeth, where you do it 1 minute every day, it's that those minute details. And what you perform to the lowest amount of your training, and what your muscle memory remembers. So knowing where that is and doing that at home every day where it doesn't cost anything is a huge benefactor to helping you out.
It becomes an extension of you.
Right. Well, it's just like you said, like brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Going from a manual brush to, say, a water pick. Seriously.
Yeah.
Stop and think about it. If you've never used a water pick, you could end up drowning, if you don't practice and use it properly.
For real.
My parents had a water pick in the 80s. Do they still make those?
Yeah. Are you kidding? Us old people still have those things. Are you kidding? That's the only thing that keeps the teeth in our heads. But
when it comes to repetitions, I like to explain to our students that all time is not equal. So I recommend before you strap on your carry gun, dry fire. Do a few reps before you load it for 5 minutes in the morning. And then when you get home and you're taking it off and putting it in the lockbox for the safe at night, do a few more reps, drawing it out, practice your trigger control, make sure your grip's nice and firm, whatever it might be. And, 10 minutes, or 5 minutes twice a day over a 6-day period, that's an hour of time. You're already touching your gun anyway. And those consistent small time periods of concerted, concentrated reps are going to make way more difference than if you're all right, Friday morning, I'm just going to do an hour of dry fire and really get it in. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
and it's like brushing your teeth 7 times one day a week, so you
Right.
don't have to do it the rest of the week.
There you
It
go.
doesn't add up the same.
So less is more.
Or the exact same amount spread over time is more.
Right. Well, when I say less, I mean, because, people are habits. Okay, I miss Monday. I miss Wednesday. Well, I'll do it for an hour on Friday. That'll make up for
Right.
it. And that's
Well,
not
then they get overwhelmed, and then
Yeah.
it doesn't happen.
exactly. Yeah, it's got to be something. It's got to be part of your routine, because
And honestly, like, I don't know anyone that can honestly dry fire for an hour every single day. Even pro shooters that we hang with, if you're really gripping a pistol as tight as you should be when you shoot it, you're going to be done in 15 minutes.
Right.
Bending over to manage that recoil and all that, it is an intense, short spurt of activities. It isn't a marathon activity. It's a sprint activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you get honest, good reps in, spreading it out over time anyway.
That's a good point. So you're doing all of these online. Will you ever go back to classroom training, or have you found that online is just as good?
4 nights a week. We're teaching 4 nights a week.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
We're
So
busy.
all of the above.
So you're just you're giving the listener and the viewers almost every option available to fit their lifestyle.
It's a way that we're able to scale, unlike most instructors. And once we start traveling for matches, just in the next couple of weeks here, we're going to be teaching intermediate and advanced carbine and pistol classes with people that came out and took beginning and introductory fundamental classes from us, last season. And it's not slowing down. It's snowballing and building on itself.
Wow.
And it's really exciting.
So when you go all over the country shooting, when you go to certain cities for a match, do you hold any classes in that city or no?
We're working on being way more efficient with the destinations we travel to do that. But sometimes it just doesn't happen because, the range that the competition's at is usually, private land or a ranch in the middle of nowhere that more than just a public range. We're running around with stuff holstered. And,
right.
But we're attempting to.
Yeah.
But we'll see how the scheduling works out. Alicia is kind of taking that aspect over instead of me managing it, and so it's probably going to be run
way more efficient.
Absolutely.
No, I mean, and that's not a slam. That's not a slam at all because, I do the same thing. If I need to get something done or if I'm trying to help somebody out and there's a husband and wife, I always give all the information to the wife. You're just more efficient.
Well, if you do it, it gets done. Not pretty, but it's done.
That's if it gets done, or if I don't forget and overload. But so we're almost done with our segments. So give us your how people get a hold of you again one more time, a little bit slower.
So it's elevatedtraining.live is our Instagram.
Okay.
And it's also our URL. So elevatedtraining.live.
Or if you put elevated training in that Google box, you probably would pop up, right?
Yes, hopefully.
Hey, I'm the dummy in the room. I mean, when it comes to computers. All right, so that's awesome. And then they'll be able to go to that site and they'll be able to see the schedule of classes, and so they can pick and choose.
Yeah, so we keep it updated regularly, and all of our classes are up on there. Just that homepage.
All right, very good.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
We sure appreciate having you guys on, and we'd love to have you back again. Keep us abreast of how it's going out there.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, folks. Hey, stay right there. And after the break, we're talking with Professor Raymond Kim from the Asian American Gun Owners of California, right here on FM 96.1, AM 1170.
This might be the best gun owners segment ever. I'm glad you got to hear what they said. And oh my gosh, Dave Stahl. It's definitely not a pre-recorded message, but that's not important right now. What is important is that you support the Second Amendment by becoming a member today. So go to stcgo.org and become a member. Do it. Do it. Or check out Orange County Gun Owners Riverside County gun owners, or San Bernardino County gun owners.
I'm sorry, I only date San Diego County gun owners members. Well, then you're in luck, baby. I'm not just a member, I'm a 10-ring member. Oh, do you have a CCW? You bet, baby. I have a CCW. San Diego County gun owners made it so easy. Oh, wow. They have an instructional video, and they walk you through the whole thing with their good cause worksheet.
Mike!
My hero!
Mike!
What?
What are you doing here?
Don't you knock?
It's the break room.
Jump in front of my sprinkler. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm glad you stuck around. There's a lot of good stuff going on Gun Owners Radio right now. Interviews, facts, Second Amendment news. It's a pretty good start to 2021. So don't go anywhere. Oh, okay.
All right. Looks like everything is good to go.
Fantastic. I can't wait to break her in.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just one last thing, and... Okay, we're all set.
All right, folks, welcome to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Clean, lube, and protect your gun faster and easier with Seal One. Seal One CLP Plus is an all-in-one solution that cleans, lubricates, and protects your guns. It's also natural, non-toxic, and environmentally friendly. Seal One was founded by a Navy SEAL here in San Diego, and all their products are made in the USA. Seal One is also a strong supporter of San Diego County gun owners, so we are very proud to have them on board. Clean your gun faster and better with Seal One, and you can use a special promo code GOR25 for a 25% discount off your first order on their website at seal1.net. All right. Hey, Wendy, who have you got for your special guest?
Ooh, this one I'm really excited about. We've got Dr. Raymond Kim on the line, and he is from the Asian American Gun Owners of California, and we're going to chat a little bit about Asian American gun ownership.
Cool.
So for those of you who can't tell on the radio, I am Asian American as well, so this is a super important topic to me. Raymond, are you there?
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me? Am I coming through?
You're coming through.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Awesome. Why don't you give us a little bit of your background as well, and what made you start the Asian American Gun Owners of California group?
Yeah, great. Yeah, thanks for the introduction. I'm excited to be on this, especially, you guys in San Diego are pretty much, the foundation of this gun movement across California, and you guys have had so much success expanding into California, and hopefully we could get your tentacles across all of California one day. But yeah, so basically about me, I worked, in the middle of my life, in mid-career, I decided to do a PhD in finance, and I found myself out in Texas. And when I was out in Texas doing my PhD there, it felt like it was another world. When you guys had your interview with Chris Chang, wow, I mean, his life story, just talking about everything it's really similar to my experience. Growing up in SoCal, in Los Angeles County, in Cerritos, kind of cut off, in this bubble of not knowing the Second Amendment culture of America.
Yeah,
and
same.
And when I was out in Texas, I was expecting the worst. I was expecting all the typical what the media says. I was expecting if I stepped on someone's someone's toes, they would shoot me, because, it's just like, I was expecting the worst, but it was the exact opposite. Like, people were just so nice out there. And, gun ownership was huge out there. And I really got to understand what it meant. An armed society is a polite society. And it felt like I was in another country. And when I came back to California, there was about 3 years ago, there were some incidents in Los Angeles, Koreatown, where some elderly Korean grandmothers were attacked randomly. And I was horrified, and I also saw a lot of the politicians were kind of taking advantage of the elderly in Koreatown, taking advantage of not speaking English as well, and then kind of putting them in a bad position as far as danger, and setting up drug-friendly homeless shelters next to largely Hispanic elementary schools and largely Korean elderly centers, and they're just kind of saying, hey, these communities, they're not going to speak up, so why don't we stick all this bad stuff on them? And I was just kind of coming back from Texas. I was just shocked. I was in a reverse cultural shock coming back to California. Like, wow, this is so different, because elderly in Texas were, they're all armed, and nobody messes with elderly in Texas. They're and what I like to say is, you can tell who's armed in Texas because they're the most polite and nicest people you've ever met. They're the one that's armed.
Right.
And I was just so shocked at how different things were coming back. And it was just this singular focus, for elderly Asians to be treated the same as they are in Texas. I mean, you have to be armed, and an armed society is a polite society. And I just, and that's been the biggest, that was the singular goal of why we started Asian American Gun Owners of California. And ever since the pandemic started, we started a private group, and membership it just exploded. And it was just the timing and was just right. And I like to say that we're the only California-wide Second Amendment community where the majority of the members live in anti-gun counties. The majority of our members, we live in Los Angeles County, San Francisco County, Alameda County, Santa Clara County, and these are where all the anti-gun legislations are co-sponsored and they start.
Right, and the interesting thing about that too is those are really the only ones that are anti-gun. There's if you look at overall the counties in California, most of them are actually fairly gun friendly, but there's a small handful that are very anti-gun, like the ones you just mentioned, and they drive a lot of the message.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wendy, I think we talked about this, how he grew up in Orange County, not that far away from me, and Chris Chang. I mean, he just hearing him talk about it, it gave me goosebumps just hearing somebody talk about that exact same experience that I had, where you grow up generally you don't know about this Second Amendment community in the rest of America, and when Chris Chang ventured outside of California, he was surprised at how friendly and warm and accepting the greater Second Amendment community was. And that was exactly my experience too. And when he comes back and he's in San Francisco, and he talked about how a lot of he felt that there's a lot of closeted gun owners in San Francisco, just like they felt the same shame that LGBTQ felt in the 80s and 90s.
Wow.
And that's exactly that's exactly how a lot of Asian Americans feel, especially my high school. I can't there's not a single person I talk to from high school about firearms. Most of my college friends I don't. It's still it's this bubble, and most of the time the bubble that we thought we were in was, we're not exposed to the urban, the urban community, and we don't know what it's like in the hood, like that kind of thing. But wow, we're also in another bubble. We have no idea what the Second Amendment community, what the greater, community is. That's another bubble. And I think the awareness of that bubble is it's non-existent in a lot of these Asian American communities.
Yeah,
and hopefully. Yeah.
I think you mentioned a really good point about how we're in a bubble and we feel like we can't talk about gun ownership. And, you and I have talked about this before, but one of the things that we as an organization and all of our organizations, including Gun Owners Radio and San Diego County Gun Owners and all of our organizations across California, one of our goals is to make sure that to help people feel like they don't have to hide. They don't have to whisper about being gun owners. They don't have to, go stand off and have side conversations between two coworkers like, hey, he's my other gun buddy and I can't mention this to anybody else in the office. There are a lot more gun owners than people realize.
Oh, yeah.
And it shouldn't have to be something that we hide.
So Raymond, let me ask you this: I mean, when you go and you talk to the Asian community, are they shocked that you're doing this? I mean, are they surprised you're a Second Amendment advocate?
Well, I mean, we actually started this group, the private group, about a year ago. So mostly it's been during the pandemic. So I haven't actually seen. Talk to an audience and seen their faces about this that much. But what I do communicate to members that are on the fence, I talk to them a lot about academic research. There's I'm sure you're familiar with John Lott and a lot of his research, but there's been a lot of recent research, like there's GLEAF 2020. He had a peer-reviewed academic article that shows the more CCWs there are, then violent crime falls.
Mm-hmm.
And if California had the same CCW rate as Texas, which is around 10%, then we would see rape fall 35% and assaults would decrease 29%. And this also supports John Lott's research and previous criminology research that shows criminals are scared. They're scared of armed victims more than they're scared of police. And I think a lot of what's going on in the mainstream media is there's nobody focuses on what criminals are thinking when they target victims.
Hey Raymond, we're gonna have to let you hold on for a second. We're gonna keep you for another segment if we can, because you are listening to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
This might be the best gun owners segment ever. I'm glad you got to hear what they said. And oh my gosh, Dave Stahl. It's definitely not a pre-recorded message, but that's not important right now. What is important is that you support the Second Amendment by becoming a member today. So go to sdcgo.org and become a member. Do it. Do it. Or check out Orange County Gun Owners, Riverside County Gun Owners, or San Bernardino County Gun Owners.
I'm sorry, I only date San Diego County gun owners members. Well, then you're in luck, baby. I'm not just a member, I'm a 10-ring member. Oh, do you have a CCW? You bet, baby. I have a CCW. San Diego County gun owners made it so easy. Oh, wow. They have an instructional video, and they walk you through the whole thing with their good cause worksheet.
Mike!
My hero!
Mike!
What?
What are you doing here?
Don't you knock?
It's the break room.
All right, folks, welcome to Gun Owners Radio, FM.
San Diego, streaming now on smart speakers and radio.com.
This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl. Welcome back to Hour 2 of Gun Owners Radio with your hosts, Dave Stahl, Joe Germisi, and Michael Schwartz. Visit gunownersradio.com with your questions and comments or to learn how to become a sponsor of the show. Time to get involved and get active. Together, we will win. Now here's Dave, Joe, and Michael on The Answer San Diego.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Okay, that's not Michael Schwartz. He has not hurt himself. That's Wendy. That's why she has a higher voice than Michael has.
I'm a lot prettier, too.
Way prettier than Michael. Way prettier than Michael. But Michael and Joe are out playing in the woods someplace.
Desert.
Is it Frontsight?
Frontsight.
Frontsight.
Yep.
So they're having too much fun. Mike puts pictures on Facebook, and I've never seen anybody smile as much as he does. Hey, stick with the show. We have got an amazing hour coming up. But right now, self-defense and emergencies can happen to anyone. And unfortunately, the justice system may not be on your side. So if you have taken training, then you know you should have coverage for the legal battle after your self-defense battle. While you protect your family and property, U.S. Law Shield is here to defend you 24/7, 365 days a year, with comprehensive self-defense coverage at an affordable price. Bad guys don't take days off, and neither does U.S. Law Shield. And guess what? If you join U.S. Law Shield, you can get a free T-shirt. Just use promo code GUNOWNERSRADIO at uslawshield.com when you sign up, and it's all yours. Hey, do me a favor. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button and tell all of your friends all about us. We'd appreciate it. So, Wendy, we've kept Raymond Kim. What's the topic for this hour?
So this segment, we're going to turn the table a little bit, and we're going to talk about what's been going on in the Asian American community recently. So,
okay, before you do that, Raymond, kind of give us a little quickie of who you are, just in case somebody tuned in.
Sure. Oh, sure. I'm a professor of finance. Right now, I just graduated with my PhD from UC Riverside last year, and I started this Asian American of Gun Owners of California about a little less than 2 years ago, and it really started blowing up about a year ago.
Sure.
As the pandemic kind of went underway, and a lot of stuff we want to talk about started.
Yeah. So talk to me about what has been happening lately. I mean, you and I have both heard a lot about a spike in violence against Asian Americans. Now, do you think, is that pandemic related or is there something else?
I think I started to notice crimes against Asians after Prop 47 passed. There was a YG. He had a song, "Meet the Flockers." It gave step-by-step instructions how to do knock-knock burglaries on Chinese. And I grew up in Cerritos, where my parents still live, and it's a lot of Asian Americans here. And Cerritos actually became number one in property crimes in Los Angeles County, and over 90% of the criminals are from outside of Cerritos.
Oh, interesting.
So a lot of these professional burglars, they started to target elderly and Asian Americans. And then I think a lot of these criminals were saying that, they had various reasons, but other, some of the reasons that they also cited was that they thought that Asian Americans, they're less likely to fight back. And also, they're less likely to report to police because of language, cultural barriers, language barriers.
Yeah, and a cultural preference for not wanting to stir the pot or cause trouble by even letting police officers do their job.
Well,
Right.
they're afraid. They're afraid. But let me ask you this. Have you done these studies? Like, who are doing these crimes? Are they actual other Asian Americans doing these crimes?
Well, actually, I mean, in San Francisco, I think they looked at, there was some data out of San Francisco that said something like around 90% of violent assaults, the victims were Asian. And the perpetrators were, vastly African American. And that's what kind of bothered me about, so Dion Lim, she was a reporter in San Francisco, and she first shined light on a lot of these, extremely violent attack on Asian American elderly about a month ago. And the mainstream news was not picking it up at all. And it wasn't until, basically you have to kind of twist the story into blaming it on Trump. And then they all of a sudden had talked about it on mainstream media. And, my initial thoughts was always, hey, if we need to get if all Asian Americans, elderly, I mean, all Californians, of course, but, if Asian Americans were armed and the elderly were armed and Asian American women were armed, there would be a lot fewer crimes. And, there's also research that shows criminals actually look at the body posture of their victims. And I'm sure anybody that CCW knows, your body posture when you're concealed carrying, it's not a passive body posture where you look scared. You're confident, you're walking, like without fear or less fear. And criminals pick up on that, and they want to find victims that look vulnerable and scared.
Yeah.
But I guess, but as time went on, I was also thinking that, well, there is, it is nice to talk about what is going on with Asian American elderly, and I think it's great that it is getting more on mainstream news. But what is missing is this perspective of having self-defense, being able to defend yourself is an important part of the conversation that's being left out. And I it's wonderful that Gun Owners Radio is dedicating some time to this really important issue as well.
Well, it's crazy that it's even going on, and it's unfortunate that mainstream media is not outraged and giving it way more coverage today. Okay, I get it. They didn't want to do it when Trump was in. Okay, I get it. You hate Trump, fine. But that's over with. So we need to, if they want to call it going back to normalcy, they need to do everything they can to help protect the Asian community. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Stop AAPI data, it shows that, even though only 40% of Asian Americans live in California and New York, over 60% of these hate crimes are happening in California and New York. So it's overrepresented. It's happening in these cities where obviously, these criminals, they're not exactly Trump supporters, and people on the ground that run these Chinatown volunteer, organizations where they're escorting elderly, the people that confront them and call them racist names to their face, these are not nice people. These are not people that barely miss being valedictorian.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Raymond, how do people get a hold of you?
Sure. Well, we're mainly on Facebook under Asian American Gun Owners of California. We have a public page and a private page. On the public page, I post a lot of academic research that shows, how gun ownership reduces crime. Of course, I'm fully a constitutional supporter of the Second Amendment, but there's 30% of Californians are independents. And
I know.
All right.
All
right, Raymond, we're gonna have to. Raymond, we're gonna have to get you your own show. That's all there is to it.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thank you so much for
Great
this time.
chatting.
I really appreciate it.
We'll definitely have you back. Have no fear. Folks, you're listening to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Jump in front of my sprinkler. Yours tires freaking suck.
All right. Looks like everything is good to go.
Fantastic. I can't wait to break her in.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just one last thing, and... Okay, we're all set. I'll see you in 10 days.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's 10 days, not a minute earlier.
10 days?
Yep.
Are you or a family member suffering from AGL? We can help. Visit us at www.stcgo.org or call us today. You are not alone.
Side effects may include peace of mind, fun, smiles, self-empowerment, pizza meetings, weekly emails, an increase in freedom, frequent visits to your local gun range, and in some cases, gingivitis. Often not available in Australia, Japan, the UK, Germany, Papua New Guinea, and everywhere that isn't here.
I'm sorry. I only date San Diego County gun owners members. Well, then you're in luck, baby. I'm not just a member, I'm a 10-ring member. Oh, do you have a CCW? You bet, baby. I have a CCW. San Diego County gun owners made it so easy. Oh, wow. They have an instructional video, and they walk you through the whole thing with their good cause worksheet.
Mike.
My hero.
Mike.
What?
Radio.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
All right, folks, this is PRMI Mortgage, PrimeRes.com/Alpine. Boy, if you're in the military or you're looking for help for a VA loan, Chris is the guy. Or if you're looking to buy, refi, or if you're considering a reverse mortgage, call our local mortgage guy that you can trust. Call Chris Wiley at PRMI Mortgage. For nearly 25 years, Chris has been helping local San Diegans with all their mortgage needs. Give Chris Wiley a call at 619-722-1303 or primeres.com/Alpine. Hey, we have a winner, Rob McCallick. Congratulations. You just won a free Seal One CLP kit. We will be getting back in touch with you. And for all those YouTube viewers out there, we want to thank Dr. Exotic, Rick Cohen, and AKs are better. All right.
I agree with you.
You don't think?
Especially with what we're about to talk about.
Well, I know, and I didn't even know what it was at first. I thought it was pretty cool until you told me what it was, which makes it even cooler. So Wendy's going to do a product review. And do we have Sandy Keller on the line? Excellent. So what do you got there, kid?
All right. So it's funny that you just did a shout out for AKs are better because I actually have an AR product here with me today.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I talk about a lot is why customization is so important. to women in particular, because ARs are long and sometimes they can be heavy, and women in general have a different body type, body size than most men do. So it's really important for us to be able to customize an AR so that it fits properly. It is ergonomic for women. So for example, like an adjustable buttstock, so that I can make it shorter, so that it's appropriate. It's an appropriate length for me. So I don't know if you know this, Dave, but I'm actually one of the plaintiffs in Miller v. Becerra, which is the lawsuit that we filed against the Attorney General's office to get rid of the assault weapons ban. So this is extra important to me. And I have Sandi on the line. So she is from Offhand Gear, and I'm really excited to show one of your handguards right now.
Hi, Sandi. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys today?
Well, I tell you what, I'm looking at this handguard. I didn't even know what it was. I thought, wow, that's a beautiful piece of sculpture is what it looks like.
It is. I mean, it basically is. It's artwork.
So what is this? I mean, it's not a candle holder.
No. So it is a handguard for the AR platform. And the whole concept is if you're going to cut away material to lose weight, you might as well cut the material away in really cool designs.
That's amazing. So how many different designs do you have?
Well, right now we have 12 with number 13 coming in April.
Awesome. Very cool. And there's so many cool designs. I have two here with me. This part's going to fall out. So I have two here with me. One of them is this beautiful rose design. And this replaces your traditional handguard. So, excuse me. Most people have, maybe like a Magpul handguard or something. Instead of that, I have this beautiful rose, rose design on this one. And then I also have this fleur-de-lis one. I don't know if you still carry this one, this fleur-de-lis
Oh, yes.
version
Yes,
in
the
this light purple.
Fleur-de-lis was actually the very first design, and that's what's on. Yeah, that's actually what's on my personal AR. And then, you also have the rose vine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they come in tons of different colors. So you offer Cerakote with it. So I've got a lilac on my fleur-de-lis and this beautiful deep red on my rose. But tell me about like some of the other ones that you have. I saw a unicorn one on there. I mean, there's some really fun stuff.
Yep. So there's the unicorn. There's the rose vine, like you said. There's the skull. So there's one with skulls on it, and the stag, which is really popular, and that actually has like a deer head and roses on it.
Yes, gorgeous.
And then there's the diamond one. I always kind of joke around with people. It's kind of like diamonds are her best friend, and why not give her one for her AR too?
Love it.
And then there's the lilies, the fleur-de-lis. There's the kiss my brass, which are lips.
Yes.
Yeah, and the butterfly.
So,
and
Sandi,
they're available. Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like the way it looks like a CNC machine did this, the way it's cut out, but it could be done another way. But does this add to the gripping factor of an AR versus the factory, whatever there from the factory?
So that's kind of one of the beauties too. Is all the designs are cut. And if you're actually using a couple of different machines to do it, but the cuts are all back beveled so that, like, if you're wearing, because another thing, like for us women, is like we wear jewelry and rings.
Yeah.
And so as you slide your hand across it, your rings and stuff don't catch up on it because of the back bevel.
Super comfortable, and you still have the rail mount options on there. Can you talk about those?
Correct. So the Picatinny rail, they all come with the availability to put that on either the top or bottom. And then the Mandala Lotus, which we actually designed more for some of our shooting sports ladies, because it is the lightest design, and you can put the Picatinny on all four sides. But you do have to use our proprietary Picatinny because the diameter of the handguard being a smaller diameter, making it easier to hang on to get the correct rise so that your Picatinny and your sights and stuff come up to the right height. You have to use ours because ours has the right curvature on the backside to fit well and the right rise to bring things up to the right height.
Yeah. Now, and you were mentioning how the diameter of the rail is actually a very specific size to make it lighter, right, for women, especially for women.
It's easier to hang on to.
Yes.
So when it comes to holding it in your hand, it's a smaller diameter, so smaller hands can hang on to it easier. But yes, and you do have to run a low-profile gas block with them because of how small the diameter is.
Yeah.
How hard is it to install?
Oh, it is so easy. So it's literally on your upper receiver, it's putting our barrel nut on the upper receiver, and then it's 6 set screws.
So I've got,
and it's literally just six set screws because it's a free float system.
Yes.
So in other words, I even have some ladies that, especially like my competition shooters, where they have more than one handguard, and they'll switch out like from a 15-inch size, like in a rose, and then in other competitions they'll just undo those 6 set screws and switch to a 12-inch in a different design.
Yeah, so I'm showing the little instructions that came rolled up in my handguard.
Yeah.
It's got the 6 screws in it. Comes with the Allen wrench. Looks super easy. So the biggest hurdle is really the low profile gas block, but even that's pretty easy too.
And most ARs actually come with that already installed too. So
you're there. Okay, so I just got to ask you, because there might be a few people out there that are not really good with an Allen wrench, but do you have videos on your website that show how to install this?
yeah, so there is, like when you go to the website under the AR, under the handguard category, there is a category that says instructions, and you'll find videos.
So it just says the Dave Stahl button, push here, and then that'll show me how to put that thing on.
Yes, exactly.
Sure.
So what's the biggest feedback that you get from these types of products? So I know, obviously these are designed mostly for women. And why is it so important that we have these products available for women?
Well, one of my favorite things about the fact since I started this business is I get lots of phone calls and lots of emails from men thanking me for creating these and having these available because they wanted their, girlfriends and wives to go to the range with them, and they kind of they're intimidated by the AR platform, and then they run across me, and they're like, "Well, if you build me an AR that looks like this, I'll go to the range with you." And
I don't blame them.
It takes a lot. Yeah, it takes a lot of the intimidation out of the platform away for them, and then once they go, they're hooked.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I can definitely see that. I mean, some of the boyfriends, no offense, they have these really tacticool ARs, which can be kind of intimidating for somebody who, is already kind of scared to begin with.
And they're not tactical.
Well, they're
not
tactical. I mean, they're all black or have lots of gadgets on them. But to have something like this, that's just absolutely beautiful.
And you can personalize it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so many options. She has different paint colors, different designs. And to be able to go and have something that is specifically designed for women, it's easy to hold. It's beautiful. And you can still have your little touch of girly on there, which I love.
I was amazed. I wear a gear ring, and it's got some pretty gnarly edges on it. And I rode it up and down that. It didn't hang up, not once.
Scratching my stuff, are you,
I
Dave?
didn't scratch your thing. Jeez, Lord.
No, it's actually super durable.
See what happens when I lose total control. What kind of money are we talking about for this? For say one of these units?
Well, the biggest basis is what kind of Cerakote finish you want, but they start out and which size, because we offer them in 4 different sizes from 7-inch all the way to 15.
Oh.
And so they start out about $240 and go up from there depending on the unicorns available in a 4-color Cerakote, and they each kind of have their own little different options. But they start out around $240 and go up from there depending on what you do with them.
What's your warranty?
Lifetime.
I'm a car guy. You have to know I'm going to ask you that question. Because
Great
somebody
question.
tells me 12 months. I got 12 months. Jeez. And I knew you were going to say lifetime, and I didn't even ask Wendy, did I?
Well, okay, Sandy, before we go, share how people can get in touch with you.
So our website is offhandgear.com, and you can find us on all social media at offhandgear. But offhandgear.com, and there's a contact us form. So if anybody has any questions, they can submit a question. And I'm a one-woman show, so it's me who will answer your question.
Sandy, you hit a home run with this product. I'm here to tell you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandy.
All right, you know what? You need to get on Shark Tank.
That'd be a sight to see.
That would be a sight to see. All right, kiddo. Thank you very, very much. Again, folks, that's offhandgear.com. Check it out. Make for a great anniversary or birthday gift for your better half.
Oh, great.
We're going to take a
idea.
quick break. This is Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1.
So my wife of 25 years just told me that she didn't love me anymore.
I didn't say that. I said you couldn't have another gun.
Same thing.
Get some!
Do you want gun rights? Are you tired of stupid gun laws? Do you want to own the guns the rest of the country gets to own? Me too. So you know what I did? I became a member and I got involved. Join and they will help you figure out which politicians to support, how to get ACCW, and what you can do to be effective. Seriously, it is the most important and most effective $10 you're going to spend all month. Go to stcgo.org and join.
Folks, hey, welcome back. You are listening to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Hey, by the way, check out our website. Our Magnum interview is by going to gunownersradio.com/Magnum. The last one was with Kung Lee. You know, her was talking about him a little earlier, championship MMA fighter. That's a firearms trainer as well. Hey, this segment's brought to you by Blackhound Optics. And you know they're a 10-ring partner at San Diego County Gun Owners. Accurate, affordable, guaranteed sporting optics that go the distance. Backed by customer service that goes that extra mile. You might remember when Joe reviewed some of their scopes. Great guys, great product, and a really great company. That is making optics affordable. On top of quality optics, they pay close attention to the customer experience. And did you know their scopes come with mounts? So you don't have to worry about finding one that doesn't fit or does fit. Hey, we are so excited to have them on as official partners of the show. And for them at your local, ask for them at your local gun store or find them online at blackhoundoptics.com. All right, Wendy, my dear, what are we chatting about?
So we're going to talk about a little bit about Not Me SD for this segment. And since you were just talking about Blackhound, I wanted to start off by saying they have a really great promo for our Not Me SD ladies.
Really?
Well, it's for anybody, but it goes to supporting our Not Me SD program, and I'll talk about why that's so important in just a second. So if you use code NotMeSD, you get 5% off everything, plus free shipping.
Wow.
And they donate 30% of proceeds to the Not Me SD program.
Wow. So what is Not Me SD?
So for those of you who don't know, Not Me SD is our ladies mentorship program. We pair new female gun owners up with an experienced female gun owner who will help answer all of their questions. Mm-hmm. So when I first became a gun owner, I basically just kind of fumbled my way through all of it. I didn't really know who to ask. I knew a couple of gun people, but I was still really nervous. I was still really intimidated by everything there was to know. Even Googling stuff is really hit or miss.
So let's talk a little bit about your path. What got you into guns?
I was in a relationship that ended poorly. Mm-hmm. And the next boyfriend after that was very into guns, and he taught me how to shoot. He thought it was really important that I know how to protect myself, especially because I felt really uncomfortable with the relationship that had previously ended.
And prior to this guy, you had never even thought of owning a gun.
No, I had gone shooting once with a friend. I never thought I would become a gun owner. It was just like this cool thing that I had done once. I never would have been like, oh yeah, I want to go become a gun owner. I want to become
COO of a Second Amendment organization.
Yeah, my life trajectory changed a little bit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I was learning all this stuff, it was just so confusing, and I was, in my early 20s, and I didn't want to be the person to be like, what is caliber? What is?
Oh, you didn't want to be the dummy in the room.
Oh, no, of course not. And nobody does, especially women, and especially a woman who is already nervous about becoming a gun owner.
And gun stores weren't nice to people that didn't know anything about the product.
It's hit or miss.
It's hit or miss.
Very hit or miss.
Know. Today it's different. Today it's different.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That one's too big for you.
Yeah.
Or the best one is, hey, this one's pink. Like, check this one out, right? I mean, that, and even now, I've been in the gun industry now for almost 10 years. I've been an instructor for 7 now.
Yeah.
It still happens to me every once in a while.
You still get it every once in a while.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And, in my experience as an instructor, too, I used to hear all the same things happen to women all the time, the same things that happened to me.
Yeah.
Where they got condescending advice, they got bad advice, or they would spend hours at a gun shop and leave with a gun that they hated.
Right.
And I just never want that to happen.
But they sold the gun that they've been wanting to get rid of for the last 3 months,
maybe,
right?
Maybe it was the shop trying to do that.
Yeah,
maybe it was
know.
Some well-meaning Dave Stahl who bought his wife a gun that she couldn't rack.
That's exactly right.
I mean, that stuff happens all the time.
All the time.
But I don't want that to happen anymore. So we started this program about 2 years ago. It's called Not Me SD. And so we have experienced female gun owners who have gone through all of these things, gone to the gun shop, gotten training. Most of them have their CCW as well. So these are 3 areas that we help brand new gun owners, brand new females who are just trying to figure out what to do. Yeah. They don't, not only are they answering their questions, but they're helping them figure out what questions to ask because they don't even know.
Right.
So I think that's super important.
Fulfilling a dream. Because if you want to own a gun, but you don't know how to own a gun, that's a rough road.
It is. And there's so many things that are really confusing, and especially in California.
And pitfalls.
Yeah. Yeah, a gun shop will help walk you through all that stuff, but you don't want to be, well, most women don't want to be that person asking a million questions at the gun shop. You know, they already feel intimidated and they don't want to feel like they're taking up somebody's time because, you know, and that's part of the salesperson's job, and most of them are happy to do it. But that doesn't take away the intimidation factor for the woman.
Sure.
It's still like, oh, I feel
don't
like
know.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I was teaching a lot, I would hear, and this is probably a stupid question, but whatever
heard
the
that
question
once.
is.
You
Oh
heard
my
it a
goodness.
million times.
And it breaks my heart to hear people say that
Yeah.
because
there are no stupid questions.
no, there are none. And it's already such a confusing thing to do. You know, we have a roster. We have like, what's an FSC? Why do we have a 10-day wait? What's a caliber? What's a barrel? I mean, all of these things.
Can I carry this thing? Can I put it in my car?
Oh, exactly.
Do I have to keep it locked up?
Yes.
Am I allowed to carry? I mean, it's a million and one questions. And the funny thing about it is, you guys, young ladies, want to know. Guys don't.
Guys are okay. Fun. You know, they're
They'll
just like,
find
we'll
out
figure
the
it out.
hard way. Yeah, exactly.
And I agree. You know, women definitely tend to want to know the whole picture when they're getting into it. So they want to know all the questions to all those answers.
And isn't it nice to know they can get those answers from another woman?
Exactly.
Only because there's that trust factor between a woman and a woman.
Yeah, and they feel comfortable asking these questions. They don't feel like they have to be the only one in the room who has no idea what's going on.
Right.
Because, the truth is that they're probably not the only person who doesn't know the answers to these questions, but they don't want to feel like they're the only ones.
Well, just to your credit of putting this program together, having people like Desi is the right move. There's a young lady that is so warm and engaging.
Yeah.
There's no way you could feel intimidated, afraid, or stupid anywhere around her because she will take you. I mean, she's like a mother hen. She will put you under her wing, and she'll level out what it is, the level of support that you need.
Yes.
She has such a unique knack. Am I right or not?
That's such a perfect description of her because so her role, for those of you who don't know, Desi is our project manager, and she helps oversee all of our ambassadors. So our ambassadors are some of the ladies who are helping do the mentoring, and Desi, not only oversees the ambassadors, but she also mentors as well. So Mother Hen is the perfect description, and she's just so comfortable to talk to. All of our ambassadors are fantastic.
Right.
They all volunteer their time. They, they help us provide this program so that we can make it free. All of these women who are applying to get help, we do it for no charge.
Right.
So I think that's super amazing. We just hit 300 women who have applied for the program.
Whoa. Look, goosebumps. Goosebumps.
Excellent goosebumps.
I think that's so huge that this, and I think it tells a lot about Not Me SD is all about. I think, in fact, didn't I get Desi on KUSI?
Yeah. Oh, that one we got a
How'd that
ton
work
of new.
out?
It was excellent. We got a ton of new applications.
You owe me.
Maybe a little bit.
But you know what? I did it because of the program. And the end result was you got a bunch of people that are interested. And I bet if you, in a couple of months, reach out to KUSI again, because I haven't talked to them, but I know they loved that topic. Otherwise, yeah, that's awesome. I didn't hear the results. That's great.
So we're able to, with help of friends like Dave Stahl.
I try.
I guess you helped a little.
Oops.
And fantastic volunteers and amazing program manager like Desi. We're able to get all of these women help.
Right.
And in certain situations, we even provide grants. So we never want money to be an issue for somebody to be able to protect themselves.
That's amazing.
So programs like Blackhound Optics, they're them donating some of their proceeds to our program. That's what that money goes towards.
Right.
So, that single hardworking mother who is just in dire straits, maybe she can't afford it right now. Training is super important. Maybe she can scrape together the money for a gun, but that training needs to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
In fact, that's more important than the gun.
Yes, actually, so our procedure is we actually get them training first.
And then take them to the range, let them shoot.
And then get them
the right gun.
Get them the right gun.
The
exactly.
Right gun. Don't forget that right gun.
Not the Dave Stahl gun.
I know. I've got my wife. I keep telling her, she keeps saying her and 2 of her girlfriends are going to sign up.
Come on over.
Well, they need to do that. I know, but you don't push. You just. It seems like when girls get together and say, let's do it, it happens. But when a guy says, hey, you need to go do this, it ain't going to happen.
Actually, that brings me to a really good point. So we actually had such a huge demand for these shooting socials that we do. They're low-key, casual shooting events that we do. We had so much demand. We actually added a ladies' shooting social every single month.
There you go.
And they're selling out like hotcakes.
And how do people find out about it?
Go to our website, SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com.
Very good. / hashtag not me or SD not me.
/ not me SD.
Yeah, we'll get it right.
Or it's on the homepage.
It's on the homepage. All right, we're going to take a quick break, folks. You are listening to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Your money work hard for you. That's twice the gain with no risk. That's an investment you can't pass up. The Word on Wealth, weekdays at 2 p.m. on The Answer San Diego.
Get retirement and Social Security advice with Marty weekdays at 2 p.m. right here on FM 96.1 in North County and AM 1170 in San Diego. The Word on Wealth weekdays at 2 on The Answer San Diego. By now, you've all heard Mike Lindell talk about MyPillow and how it's literally changed people's lives. They won't go flat. You can wash and dry them as many times as you want, and they maintain their shape. And they're made in the USA. For a limited time, Mike is offering his premium MyPillows for his lowest price ever. You can get a queen-size premium MyPillow for $29.98, regularly $69.98. That's a $40 savings. Kings are only $5 more. Not only are you getting the lowest price ever, $29.98 for a queen-size premium, but Mike is extending his 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code San Diego. You'll also get deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the Giza Dream bed sheets, the MyPillow mattress topper, and MyPillow towel sets. Or call 800-310-2458 and use promo code San Diego.
How do you listen to The Answer San Diego?
I downloaded the free Answer San Diego app for iPhone and Android.
I listen by clicking Listen Live at theanswersandiego.com.
I go to tunein.com or I open the TuneIn app and search The Answer San Diego.
I love using my smart speaker. All I have to say is play The Answer San Diego. And there are easy setup instructions at theanswersandiego.com.
So there certainly are a lot of ways to listen to The Answer San Diego. But don't forget, you can always find us on FM 96.1 in North County and AM 1170 in San Diego. The Answer San Diego, streaming now on TuneIn.com and Radio.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Hey, our show needs your help. We live in a state where your self-defense rights are quickly eroding. Let us be your voice to help defend and restore the Second Amendment in California. Help spread the word about the fight. There's 2 easy things you can do. 1, like and subscribe to the show on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Parler, the podcast, or whatever way you listen to the show. Share the show with as many friends as you can. And thanks for tuning in. And remember, together, we will win. All right, Sam the Gunman. How you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. How are you guys?
Well, Uncle Mikey and Uncle Joe are out playing at Frontsight, so you've got me and Wendy.
All right. Well,
so we're ready for you. Are you ready?
I hope so. I mean, I know without Uncle Michael there to protect me, you're probably going to lob me a pretty hard one.
No, I'm not. Here we go. This is from Josephina in my little town of Alpine. What is special about the Glock 18 and how mechanically does Glock make it special?
Josephina from Alpine, thanks very much for writing in. And this might have been a fun question with Uncle Mike on the line because you know how he feels about his Glocks. Now, the Glock 18 is a pretty interesting pistol. It is one of the 3 that is not actually 5 models that aren't available to civilians in the U.S., and it is unique in that it is the only fully automatic Glock pistol. It's basically just a Glock 17, which is their full-size 9mm, with a selector switch, and it was designed at the request of EKO Cobra, Austria's counter-terror unit. They liked their Glocks, and they wanted something with a little bit more firepower, but still that small, compact size.
Correct! Unbelievable. I tell you, the guy's amazing. Just amazing. And he never gets the answers up front. But I think the book he read like 5 years ago, Josephina must have just read it yesterday. I don't know what the deal is.
Now, here's something for you that might not be in the written answer. Glock says that they actually use the 18 internally for doing durability testing on certain parts. Because if you can dump rounds downrange at whatever it is, something ridiculous like 1,100 or 1,200 rounds per minute, then you can test things a lot more quickly and do your failure testing of components to see how long they really last.
Amazing. Wow. Amazing.
Impressive as always.
As always. Well, I tell you what, that's just great. So you win again, my friend.
You sound so upset about it.
No. I'm thrilled when you win. I'm shocked when you don't, because, you are just a plethora of gun knowledge. Yeah, there ought to be a show that you can go on and win tons and tons of money.
Show.
Yeah, gun trivia show. Yeah,
I have so many sound bites of like a plethora of sound bites when he gets it wrong, so I can't use them ever. It's untouched.
Yeah, well, you better start mixing up the wins, Betty.
I have to now.
All right, man. Hey, thank you very much for taking time out of your Sunday, and we look forward to chatting with you next week.
Well, as always, thanks very much for having it on. It's always a pleasure, and the way I see it, either I get the question right or I learn something, right?
Very good. I love your logic.
I like that.
Sam the Gunman. Thanks, buddy. Say hi to the family.
Will do. Good night.
All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we do not have a mic drop. We have a
Wendy
drop.
That was...
Yeah. That's
okay.
as far as you want to go with that one.
All right. So it's time for your weekly not Mike drop. It's a Wendy drop today. I'm Wendy. I'm filling in for Mike's enormous flip-flops this week. So here we go. Okay. So those of you who know me, I'm the COO of San Diego County Gun Owners. And I also help run all 4 of our gun owners packs. So we have San Diego, Orange County, Riverside, and San Bernardino. I'm also a firearms instructor. I'm NRA certified in several disciplines. And I'm finishing up my MBA at University of Southern California, which I'm super excited about. I'm almost done. I'm also a mom and a wife, and I've worked very, very hard to be a success in an industry not known for being full of women. So I tell you all that not to brag, but because I want to set some context. So I work really hard as a woman and as a mother and as a student and as an employee. And I'm proud of the work that I and the other women do to make sure that we, as women in general, are taken seriously for our success. So for that reason, it drives me up the wall when I see a woman who behaves hypocritically, and it feels like a slap in the face to everybody like myself and women like me, all of the accomplishments that we've achieved. So today's Wendy Drop is about Assembly Member Christina Garcia. She's the state rep from LA County, and she is exactly that kind of woman. She's a Democrat, and she's served in office since 2012, and during her time in office, she's been a real gem of hypocrisy, an example for us all to learn from when it comes to what not to do. So where do we begin? Let's start with her false claims about a graduate degree. During her campaign, Garcia claimed that she had a PhD from USC, high school, Not a small claim, except that it turned out after some investigating by a reporter that she did do some coursework there, but she did not complete her PhD. Her excuse was that she didn't read her own promotional pamphlets closely enough before they were distributed. Lame, right? Yeah.
Totally.
As if that weren't enough, though, later it was discovered that she also lied about having a master's degree from UCLA. So she didn't even attend classes there. So false claims about false degrees are one thing. It speaks to her character and she should resign based on that alone. But what's next is not just inexcusable professionally, but personally reprehensible. Cristina Garcia was an early Me Too advocate. She was vocal about being personally harassed by men throughout their career and very vocal about condemning offenders. She even got herself featured in a Time magazine article about Me Too, where she was one of the silence breakers, or women who come out to talk about how horrible sexual harassment is in America. And that's not to say that it's not a problem, but her problem is that in 2018, just a year after being a Me Too hero, an assembly staffer went public with the claims that Cristina groped and fondled him against his will years prior. He even had witnesses to confirm his sincerity, and at the time, a lobbyist reported to Politico that Cristina harassed him too, to the point that she physically confronted him and demanded, well, let's just say she was truly a mom demanding action.
Whoa.
Har.
Har.
That was a bad one. Sorry. Then, just a month later, not one, not two, not three, but 4 of her staffers filed complaints officially because Cristina was creating a hostile work environment by getting drunk in the office and explicitly discussing sex, including an office spin the bottle game. So there have been allegations of campaign improprieties and corruption, but still, Democratic leadership stands behind Cristina Garcia, and Democratic voters continue to elect her. I don't have enough time in one Wendy drop to go into all the horrible details of Cristina's behavior while being an elected official. But I do have time to say that coming from a woman who has put in the work and is raising a family and works really hard to fight against anti-gun politicians like Cristina Garcia, it is time for you to leave the people's seat and let another woman step up to replace you and undo the horrible damage that you have done. Being a woman is already hard, and women like Assemblymember Cristina Garcia make it even harder. So that's your Wendy drop.
Wendy drop. You know, if it wasn't for these drops, nobody would know about these people.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, the media is definitely far left, and they're not going to say anything because they're on the same, the list as the left. It's just, God, these went, man, that was amazing.
Makes me angry.
Just makes me angry, too. Yeah, that's the only thing about this show. See, I do my first hours off-road. I get angry. Then I do 3 hours of automotive, and I'm relaxed and calm down. Then I come back and do 2 hours of guns, and then I'm all fired up again for the rest of the day. But that's what you need to do to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, not bragging, that's why I bought 4 seats to help a police officer in the Cover My Ass program, which is next week.
Yep.
My good buddy, I must have motivated him. He bought 4. We've only got 10 more, or actually a few more to go. And where do they go? They go San Diego County Gun Owners.
GunOwnersRadio.com.
Bingo.
Yep. And
$25.
Yep. And then follow the links to Cover Your Asp Week.
All right.
To support a cop.
Can I just write you a check, or do I have to go through all the computer stuff?
You have to click on
Can I write you a check?
website.
Can I just write you a check? Do I have to go through? Yeah. I'll let you do it.
We'll make it happen.
Because me and my computer, we don't even want to go there. All right, hey, folks, and if you're listening on YouTube or the podcast, hit that like button and subscribe button at the same time. Share the show with all your buddies, and please support our great sponsors by going in. And if you purchase something or you're just checking them out, thank them for supporting San Diego County Gun Owners and Gun Owners Radio. That would be San Diego County Gun Owners, U.S. Law Shield, the Dillon Law Group, Seal One, PRMI Mortgage, Blackhound Optics, and National Concealed Carry Association. And I can't thank Wendy enough. You were just a fantastic co-host.
Thank you.
I'll roll with you anytime you like on air.
I'll be back soon.
I can't wait. And, of course, Sam the Gunman and our digital maestro, Brendan Thomas.
Better ring to it, I think.
I think so, too. So go to gunownersradio.com for podcasts, all the latest information. And if you missed the show, you can hear it there as well. Again, don't go anywhere. Bob Siegel's in the house. Again, his hair was on fire. So I don't know what that show is going to be about, but it's going to be good. Right here on FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.